should literally be a segment. This should literally be a segment. I'm gonna make this a segment, okay? So I do this with the Spurs, right? And I did it with the Cowboys too. I hate watching the Cowboys. I don't enjoy it anymore. They drive me crazy. They're gonna lose first round. It's just so obvious, okay? But like what I do is I take a look from the top down, right? It's very difficult to start criticizing players if the front office have no idea what they're doing, if they're incompetent monkeys. Like, it's difficult for me to start saying, you know, Tony Romo sucks. It's difficult for me to say Dak Prescott needs to do better, because you got to think about what he's working with. So I look at the front office. What are they doing? They don't know what they're doing, right? They're just banging two cymbals together. They don't know. Jerry Jones doesn't know what he's doing. And then you go down to the coaching, and it's like, okay, coaches suck, but that's because of the front office. And then you go down to the players. It's like, why am I going to sit here and get angry and upset at a player when they're not getting the adequate enough coaching and they're not getting the adequate moves from the front office? And I do the same thing with the Spurs, right? Right? I do the same thing with the Spurs. And I think that's kind of the beauty of the Spurs too. Like how in this recent, press conference that we watched here, in which he was talking about, going to the Spurs and seeing, the banners and all that stuff. It's really cool because a lot of our players hold themselves responsible, right? Wemby, you can see it with Wemby all the time. Like, he's not pointing fingers. It's not some controversial things that he feel, when it pertains to our front office or anything like that. They understand that the front office is doing their job. They're doing the best of their ability. They're doing a pretty good job. They're staying in communication with them. And then it goes down to the coaches, and it makes the players trust the coaches because the front office is doing their thing. So it's like, hey, I need to buy into this. And then it gets down to them as players, and they're like, I'm responsible for what I need to do, right? Because my franchise is doing everything they can to put me in a position to win. So, like, the Spurs are in a great place in that regard, because we have a front office that does everything they possibly can, constantly making good moves. Spurs fans can complain about some of the stuff. I don't really know what we're complaining about. I think that they're doing a great job. And then we have coaching, which, obviously we have to see, but the coaching hires have been phenomenal. So the players sit back and they're like, I need to put in that work, right? If I lose, it's on me, right? It's on me. And you see those banners, and you see that this team knows how to win, and they're doing, they have a system down as far as how do you win games, how do you win championships, how do you create a dynasty, so you can put it on yourself. But the Cowboys, it's been 30 years. The front office is all about ego. Jerry Jones just cares about ego. He doesn't care about getting the adequate coaches so we can win championships. He doesn't care about that. It's about, can I put butts in seats? That's all Jerry cares about. So it used to drive me nuts when I would talk to Cowboys fans and they would try to talk to me about how Dak sucks. You think I care how Dak performed? Does it matter? We can have the best team imaginable. We can have all the talent in the world, but does it matter? And it really is tough to win anything as far as playoffs when you don't have coaches and you don't have a front office that knows what they're doing. It's impossible. It's impossible. This is why, there's many reasons, but this is one of the reasons why I love the Spurs and I don't talk about the Cowboys. This is why I don't have a separate channel about the Cowboys, which I was close to doing it. Cowboys fans are so delusional. I just, Clan the Cowboys fan. I think it was Clan the Boys fan. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not doing this. You guys are crazy. Like, talking to Cowboys fans, I was like, you guys are crazy. Mitch is going to be under a microscope because he didn't leave a good impression with most Spurs fans. SM fans? What's SM? Fans are ready to pounce, and the court of public opinion is brutal. They want heads to roll. Yeah, I think people need to be a little bit more patient with Mitch, right? Like there was plenty of times during the season that made me scratch my head. I also think though, so I don't know if you guys heard about this. Let me see. So one of my biggest criticisms of Mitch Johnson was the lineups after getting Fox, right? But this right here kind of shows that maybe it wasn't really his fault. So take a look at this. So one of the biggest gripes I had was Chris Paul starting with Fox. I thought it was very stupid, kind of insane. But apparently Chris Paul wants a starting role. So it says Chris Paul wants to be a starter. We're told, which is part of the reason why he evidently hasn't made up his mind yet. So by the time that I upload this video, I don't know where Chris Paul is, but I'm pretty sure that it was in his contract that he will start, right? That it was promised that he's going to get a significant role regardless of what the San Antonio Spurs do. Now, did it matter? Probably not, right? I don't think it would have made that much of a difference, especially since Fox barely played. He just played a few games with Wemby, really, and then got his surgery. So I don't know how much it would have mattered, but it is one of my biggest gripes this last season. Like probably the number one gripe that I had. So knowing that, no, it's probably just Chris Paul. It's in contract and it's confirmed. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was confirmed to be in the contract. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. So yeah, that was my only gripe. So I think we should just be patient. And there's lots of people that have vetted him. There's lots of coaches, great coaches, that have said very positive things about Mitch Johnson, right? So I think we all should be a little bit more understanding. Give him a little room, right? And this is the first time he'll actually have a legitimate offseason and everything. And it looks like he gels. This is really important. Looks like he really gels with Mitch or Brian Wright. Like I saw them during draft night, right? And they seem like they're like genuine friends. So that's good. That's good. But yeah, so nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Know what I mean? But that's my take though. That's my take, guys. If you ever wonder why I don't bring up the Cowboys and why I didn't do a separate channel, because I promise you the channel would do well. Like Cowboys, people watch Cowboys. People love the Cowboys. I mean, they're like the Lakers of football, right? Like the channel would do well. But I don't want to interact with them. I like interacting with y'all, right? And even when the Spurs are bad, because we went through it, right? We had a couple seasons where they were pretty doggone bad, right? And I fought with you guys, and I fought with, other Spurs fans, but it's another level with Cowboys fans, y'all. It's like another beast that you're going against here, right? It's another level of cognitive dissonance with them. It's just another thing, man. It's another thing. At least with Spurs fans, we can have a legitimate discussion. Cowboys fans will feel a certain way about something, have no idea why they feel that way, and you talk it to a brick wall, man. They're in a cult, basically, bro. They're freaking brainwashed. 30 years, and we're still talking about players. 30 years. 30 years and we're still complaining about the players on the field? Come on, bro. Think about the 2010 Cowboys, man. You are stacked. And we still want to blame the players? You had DeMarcus Ware. I think Marcus Spears was on that team, right? You had Marcus Spears. You had, obviously, Romo. I don't know. Did we have Marion the Barbarian? I don't know if Marion Barber was on that team. Was he on that team? Was Felix Jones on that team? I don't remember who was on that team. It was a stacked team, though. Clan, were you a fan of Tony Romo? Yes! Yes! Did he choke sometimes? Sure. But he also had, I think he was in the record books as, one of the most clutch players we've had. Clutch quarterbacks we had. Like I said, it's top down, right? It wasn't Tony Romo. I didn't blame Tony Romo. You didn't have. Sometimes coaches need to protect players from themselves, right? One thing that we praise the Spurs for is that they always protect players from themselves. Tony Romo was one of those guys. He would do too much. He would get in his own head sometimes. And he didn't have the adequate coaching to know when to pull back. When, hey, maybe we shouldn't throw 700 times in this game. Right? Maybe we should protect Tony a little bit. Maybe we should get an offensive line that can protect him. Which took him forever to do that. Tony Romo was a good player. And anybody that says otherwise, I understand why you had like your gripes, but who cares? You know? Oh, he made this play. He screwed this up. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He hasn't been the Cowboys quarterback since the 90s. What does it matter? What about all the other years? I guess all of it's just the quarterback's fault. And it's been proven in the NFL, you don't have to necessarily have a freaking, sorry, almost cursed there. I'm getting angry that this is what the Cowboys do to me. You don't have to have Patrick Mahomes to win a championship. You don't. You don't. You don't. Gosh, see what the Cowboys do to me, y'all? I hate the Cowboys. He's the GOAT, though. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is really good. But you don't have to. You can have an okay quarterback. They can be okay. They don't have to be great. They can be okay. Please, no more Cowboys talk tonight. This is still a Spurs channel, right? Well, I mean, I brought up the Spurs. The whole point is that I love the Spurs and I hate them. Anyways.